You need to hear this if you're a fan of mythical creatures. Imagine a creature of immense power, a beast with scales that shimmer like 1,000 jewels. It has vast, leathery wings that can carry it high above the clouds. Sometimes it breathes fire, a scorching torrent that can turn forests to ash. This, my friends, is the dragon. These magnificent beings have captured our imaginations for centuries, appearing in tales told by firesides and in epic poems. They are creatures of myth and legend, yet they feel wonderfully, extraordinarily real to many of us. They represent something ancient, something wild, and something truly magical that stirs the heart. Dragons are not all the same, you see. Some are colossal, larger than any beast we know. Others might be smaller, more cunning perhaps, and slippery like serpents. Their colors vary too, from the deepest black of a midnight sky to the brilliant gold of a hidden treasure hoard. Many have sharp claws, perfect for gripping rocky crags, or some say unfortunate knights. Their eyes are often described as wise and ancient, holding secrets of the world. These features paint a picture of a truly formidable creature, one that demands respect and often a great deal of courage from those who encounter it. The idea of dragons is incredibly old. It stretches back into the mists of time, long before we had books or films to show us their fearsome forms. Ancient civilizations across the world all seemed to dream up these scaly titans, independently of one another. Perhaps they were inspired by the discovery of dinosaur bones, mistaken for the remains of these mythical beasts, or maybe the fear of large predators like snakes and crocodiles combined with the awe of eagles soaring sparked the first dragon tales. Whatever their true origin, they became a powerful symbol in human storytelling very early on. These early dragons were often seen as primal forces. They could represent the untamed wilderness, the destructive power of nature, or even the chaos that existed before the world was put in order. Think of storms, earthquakes, and floods. A dragon's fury could easily embody such terrifying events. They were not just monsters. They were symbols of something much bigger than humankind. This made them important figures in the early beliefs and mythologies of people trying to understand the world around them, a world that was often dangerous and unpredictable, much like the dragons themselves. In the lands of Europe, the dragon often took on a rather villainous role. Picture a grumpy, fire-breathing beast. It would guard mountains of stolen gold and jewels in a dark, smoky lair. These dragons were frequently seen as symbols of greed and destruction. Brave knights, clad in shining armor, would embark on perilous quests to slay these fearsome creatures. Their purpose was often to rescue a captured princess or to free a terrified town from the dragon's fiery tyranny. Slaying a dragon was the ultimate test of courage and virtue for these heroes of old. These European dragons were typically depicted with thick, armored scales. They had 4 powerful legs and enormous bat-like wings. Their breath was not just hot, it was a weapon, a stream of pure fire or sometimes a noxious, poisonous gas. They were the antagonists, the great challenge that a hero needed to overcome. Think of tales where the dragon is a dark force, a representation of evil that must be vanquished for peace and goodness to prevail. This image of the malevolent, treasure-hoarding dragon became deeply embedded in Western folklore and art for many, many centuries, influencing countless stories. Now let us journey east to places like China and Japan. Here, the dragon is a very different creature indeed. The Eastern dragon, or Long as it's known in China, is usually a benevolent and wise being. It is often seen as a symbol of good fortune, power, and prosperity. These dragons are associated with water rivers, lakes, and the sea, and they are believed to control the rains and floods. Instead of breathing fire, they might command the storms, bringing life-giving water to the land, which was vital for farming and survival. Unlike their Western cousins, Eastern dragons are typically long and serpentine. They often have 4 legs, but they fly through the air without the need for massive wings. Almost as if they are swimming through the sky, they might have antlers like a deer, the scales of a carp, and the claws of an eagle. They are seen as divine protectors. And emperors in China often used the dragon as a symbol of their imperial power and wisdom. People would pray to dragons for favorable weather and a good harvest, respecting them as powerful and kindly spirits of nature. One of the most famous dragon-slaying legends from Europe is the tale of St. George. As the story goes, a terrifying dragon was plaguing a town, perhaps in Libya. It demanded daily sacrifices, and eventually the lot fell upon the king's own daughter, the princess. Just as she was about to be devoured, St. George, a brave knight, rode in. He fought the dragon valiantly and with divine help managed to wound it. He then had the princess lead the subdued beast back to the city, where he slew it after the townsfolk agreed to convert to Christianity. This story became incredibly popular throughout the Middle Ages. St. George became the patron saint of England and many other places. The dragon in this tale represents paganism, evil, or the devil. St. George's victory symbolizes the triumph of good over evil and faith over despair. It's a classic hero narrative where courage and righteousness overcome a monstrous threat. The image of St. George on his horse spearing the dragon is an iconic one, reproduced in countless paintings, sculptures, and even on coins, a testament to its enduring power. From the rich tapestry of Norse mythology comes the story of Fafnir. Fafnir was not always a dragon. He was originally a dwarf, son of a king, but his immense greed for accursed treasure, Andvari's gold, transformed him into a fearsome dragon. He jealously guarded this hoard, breathing poison over the land to keep anyone away. The hero Sigurd, or Siegfried in German legends, was tasked with slaying this monstrous guardian. It was a dangerous undertaking, for Fafnir was a truly terrible beast whose very presence polluted the earth around his lair. Sigurd, guided by wise counsel, dug a pit in the path Fafnir used to go to water. As the dragon crawled over the pit, Sigurd thrust his sword, Gram, upwards into Fafnir's soft underbelly, killing him. By tasting the dragon's blood, Sigurd gained the ability to understand the language of birds, who warned him of further treachery. This tale explores themes of greed and its corrupting influence, and the courage needed to confront such powerful, self-made monsters. Fafnir's story serves as a potent reminder of how avarice can utterly change a person, or even a dwarf, for the worse. So why do these mythical creatures continue to hold such a powerful grip on our imaginations, even today in 2025? Part of it, I believe, is their sheer magnificence. Dragons represent untamed power and freedom. The ability to fly, to command elements like fire or water, these are abilities humans can only dream of. They are the ultimate fantasy creature, embodying strength, majesty, and sometimes ancient wisdom. In a world that often feels very ordinary, dragons offer a thrilling escape into the extraordinary, a glimpse of something truly wild. Moreover, dragons are incredibly versatile symbols. They can be terrifying monsters that represent our deepest fears, chaos, destruction, and pure evil. Slaying such a beast becomes a metaphor for overcoming great obstacles or our own inner demons. Yet they can also be wise and benevolent protectors, symbols of good fortune, strength, and even enlightenment, as seen in many Eastern cultures. This duality allows them to fit into almost any kind of story, appealing to a wide range of human emotions and experiences, from terror to awe. This adaptability is why dragons thrive in modern literature, films, and games. Think of Smaug in The Hobbit, a classic greedy, fire-breathing terror. Then consider the intelligent, often misunderstood dragons in series like How to Train Your Dragon or the complex, majestic dragons in Game of Thrones. Authors and creators can mold them to fit their narrative needs, making them villains, allies, or simply awe-inspiring forces of nature. They provide an instant sense of wonder and epic scale to any story they inhabit, promising adventure and magic. Ultimately, the timeless appeal of dragons lies in their connection to the fundamental parts of the human spirit. They tap into our love of stories, our fascination with the unknown, and our desire for something more than the mundane. They are a link to our ancient past, to a time when the world felt more mysterious and magical. As long as we continue to dream, to imagine, and to tell stories, dragons will continue to soar through our skies and guard the hidden treasures of our collective imagination, their fiery breath igniting our creativity for generations to come.